Well, Vic, thank you so much for taking some of your time out of your day to meet with us, and just tell us a little bit more about your story.
My name is Victor. I work as an after-school program facilitator. So I run an after-school program. I've been doing it for about almost 12 years now. Yeah. So I work with a lot of kids.
Take us a little bit further back before Radius. What was your life like?
Okay. I wasn't very much into church when I was younger. Actually, I was raised Catholic, but a lot of times I really didn't know what was even being discussed. If anything, I was more focused on when it was over, and I didn't pay as much attention for whatever reason, and so I wanted, as I started taking more classes at school, I wanted to find that spiritual, like, faith identity, because I felt like I needed it. And for a while I was probably not doing too well. Probably dealt with a lot of depression.
So you felt alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, loneliness, man. It's a huge epidemic in today's society. People just feel like they have to go through life alone.
Yeah.
So just talk a little bit about loneliness and why you felt that way and
Man, there was a year at work where I wouldn't even care about the time that I would go, even though I was scheduled for a certain time from this point to this point. I would get there maybe with 2 hours left of the job, and it's it was a 6-hour job. So, and because I didn't want to leave the home, I was frustrated. I was tired. Dealing with people was hard. Because I didn't feel like I was getting points across, and with that, there was just always butting heads. I was always butting heads with somebody. But yeah, for the longest time, just dealing with depression was always wanting to just keep to myself, isolate myself a lot.
Yeah.
And that was killing me. That was hurting more, just because I didn't feel like I had anybody. Family life at home was rough. So one of the biggest issues was just dealing with other people's personalities, and just there was always this constant yelling and just constant issues amongst, like, other siblings that I kind of had to be around all the time. So one of the biggest things for me was I was dealing with stuff at work, especially with counseling and trying to work with kids and trying to communicate and trying to help them out, that I felt like my work was coming home with me too when I was living with my family. Because it was always, if it wasn't dealing with these issues, it was dealing with these issues at home. I didn't feel like I was comfortable in any environment, and so rather than try to find someone to talk to, find a way to kind of have an outlet, I kept to myself, because it's like, where else can I go?
Mm-hmm.
But even being on my own was hard, because then, like, now who do you have?
Ben, how'd you hear about the church?
Your wife was the one that brought it up, and then Jackie let me know about the church. I was like, I want to try it out. I want to see what it's about.
Yeah?
Yeah, and that's how it all kind of started.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So good, so good. So, again, what has Radius done for you personally?
I love coming to church, and I love that consistency.
Yeah.
And I love being able to worship, and I love being able to praise and sing and try your best to make sure that you're letting everyone who's watching feel it too. On top of worshiping God and just praising Him,
Mm-hmm.
is being able to try as much as possible from the heart to let them feel how you feel. I feel good every time I go in. You're welcomed in. You feel like you're part of something, and no one's pushing you to do anything you don't want to do. That's powerful, because I think there's so many people tend to feel like they're going to be judged, or they're going to be looked at a certain way, and that's not what it's like when you go to Radius. When you go to Radius, it's not about being judged. It's not about coming in feeling like someone's going to strike you down. It isn't like that. There's you go in feeling like you have a lot of people that care about you. I enjoy coming in and being able to just talk to the people who I've been able to connect with. I enjoy being able to have that moment where even if it's for a few minutes, that dialogue, it just feels good, because you do feel like you're in a loving environment. Yeah, it feels like a big family, and I guess you can say just like self-reflecting for myself. Like those who got to know me, I think they see a different person.
What would you say to somebody who is listening, who was where you were? What would you tell them?
Anyone who's been in my shoes, or just gone through what I've gone through, all it takes is just one moment to walk in, you know? If you're looking for guidance and you're lost, and you're not, you're kind of just going through the motions, and you feel like you're missing something, I think that you'll have that opportunity to gain that guidance. You'll have that opportunity to find purpose in your life, and I mean that's a guarantee. My name is Victor Garcia, and I love my church.